NFM Radio.
For say dear, yenam top connect so emanisika de bagana if we asia fanani na yenchia kapre. Ane aye free. Top connect amasika manie ayem rekra. Ye uhiane se oba download it with Top Connect app no ewo Play Store. Diama wo Android phone. And as we use iPhone so ko Apple Store na download the Top Connect. Aye simple kra. Top Connect wa mind radio num so wo Europe, North America and Asia. Woman wo dofu sika fa Top Connect so aye ntem na emre na mawa hoto swonso sese die sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia for Top Connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our befontin tefidie nyina so Top Connect Fesika mane wa dofo asumjemu a untia kapre Top Connect yensu ye die nie
Abusia, let me go straight to the point. We will found wada. Once you attack and send me says so, your work can see come air conditioner and also dumb air conditioning no and said that more can see no crane say. One funny papa and I'm installation now mountia. With everything called enterprise, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odemo, a Rubia, okay, new, never cold room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't see, I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. Every a nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you medicadica. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice at your Mawa, or you be a boost straight, not the only your body fee. So, what the asset, and our gas in a sense, say you'll come with the another dear, and our cold store dear, Nina, a very nice and quick, but we will be a yet the amount. Musa more bridge, I'm always sit down, or my canoe, and over to me, I'm afraid you can lie with so. Yeah, be install air conditioning, Ibiamamu. Frank plus 447508650279. Oh, wager, I just sent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544489343 and 0302906276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you an email, kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything Code Enterprise, air conditioning, a master, no.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio. Emudaho.
President Nanado, your friend Matheson, Sunyane Namiwo. Makotna awonu Holland. Ako Sam in Fifure. Sikaka kre minya yeno. Mediaba mia me maimu Ghana. Diababe to registered bank. AJN bank. President Nanado ube TV so bekatre Ghana for se. JN bank anye nejuma ye. Tiwaje bank ne licenses no. With the customers nisika be momo. 3 years muni mensanka emisika. Sikaka kre ka yeno so. 550 million. Media kwa to commercial bank. Na midi commercial bank de midi misika koto ho a e save. President Nanado enam IMF bosiana wo kwa akoboni nti. Osimi misika 550 million na odi akwa ye adwuma nya interest wo so no. Once the Quran onfa mame. Misika trene no so. Ose onfa mame. Jese 2024. Na sika no interest ketewa no a menya no. Obema mi mu 5%. Menya adwuma wo Ghana. Mintimi so enko Holland se me kwa ye adwuma. Mimfi akọ animu kakra. Kwan ben so na mefa so a me ne meyire ne memba yibedidi. Mr. President. Mesro se me ma se me be street carefully ho. Mia misika makosam infifure enya no. Mesro se obema mensa aka. Obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no. Mesram se mode beto mo platform so. Ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado nensa aka we nyamase ni bi etie. Ghana mpanyinfo for mesram so se mo ne President Nanado be kasa ama me. Medamase.
Good morning, President Nanado Adankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm paying me bano boko. Midin the ASP retired Franklin Nate. Mesun Ghana ewo police mu 24 plus years. Na me gratuity me san kano milito bond 2 years. Aka 1 year this year, September. Year 2023. Na mi bond no amateur. Adwina wo di ba ye say. Wakoboka ana wa bugana abofom. Enti me bra ma bre. Sika medi to bond no commercial bank no. Unfa mame. We enye am robber ene be chimi jimi sika o. O man penya ya tu abama no se onhwe yeso emra wo fru plane 18,000 pounds an hour nkrofo ka kire wante emra wo fa so many ministers se omunu na oni omu betumi aye adwuma nkrofo ka kire wante ene your incompetence inti me bre ama bre me disika yedi tua me ka se gratuity me fa hwe me ho so no usi wafa this is 2033.
Right, yo, Akwaba. Good evening and welcome to the show. Welcome to Fire Will Burn You. It's coming to you live from NFM Radio, Mansa Musa. I'm ready to rock and roll. I hope you are as well. I'm the one driving this ship. So just come and join. Join with me. Let's sail away. This is the program Fire Will Burn You. Right, so when you were a baby, your mama told you not to play with fire because fire, if you joke with it, it's gonna burn you. Anyway, Kumasi for me, any Accra for. Tonight we have discussions on various issues actually, and then I mean Basa no, and I mean okay. I mean information and I said discussion. Whatever it is there that you are not comfortable with, or BBI no frame, we can discuss it. But the main topics, is about what is happening in Ghana politics. One issue I'm saying, Abaye, your friend is saying contemptuous, so I say, Abaye, talking pointer, Ubiye Kahwasem, and the issue of dual citizenship. Dual citizenship. Maybe to me Mansa Musa obiye ni say me dual citizenship no minimum be. Even though Emre call high commissioner in the office, high commissioner Papa also and come ahwe me nim ka kire say me Mansa Musa me a British ni. How he got that no I don't know. But the point in is say Emra ewoho regarding, the safe use of citizenship. The safeguarding instruments are what citizenship. You are trying to pay for Eguye Ghana Constitution krata anymore. A pay for you Ghana over by Ghana and me Ghana it's all there. I can open the books and read it out, but Eti abasa yesu obi e Ghana ni na nipa koro so another nation bi nipa se bia o san so ye Nigeria ni o ye Angola ni o ye Chad ni nipa koro ye Niger ni because Africa wana ye wono e bi ni wo ho a omo ti awuza no on be culture say awuza kasa no a threat from northern Nigeria, Niger, part of Chad, then all along the west coast, some part of a friend is Upper Volta, now say Burkina Faso, and part of Guinea near there, Moka Hausa or Kakra. So, Obi Owa, Enfant so Figana, so no fi Niger. Me are 80s, na me madam for phobia. Almost say they were entrepreneur, ne papa entrepreneur, so meaning say a money changing business now no move can turn to one or more. Let's just say they were from Niger, but they've been in Ghana for more than 20, or some of them were born there anyway. that dual citizenship, we have to, whenever we want to discuss it, we got to be very circumspect, very careful that it's not only a Ghanaian, a Canadian Ghanaian, or a British Ghanaian, or American Ghanaian, Australian Ghanaian, that fashionable, fashionable, sort of stylish. Rude Gullit once said that sort of sexy attachment to citizenship. It's not only that we have to consider. We need to consider those places that are not that cool, like Niger, Burkina Faso, Chad, those places. Benin, La Côte d'Ivoire, Togo, Alatayao, Nigeria. You see, it can be dual citizenship. So my question today, John Dramani Mahama has raised this matter. Say, onoba obehwehwem ema dual citizenship no ya yehu yebeye ho adwuma. Say Ghana for us Ghanaians yebeye ho adwuma, so that people who qualify, to be assigned good jobs or good responsibilities, good duties in Ghana, those people will be welcome without much of a hindrance or too much of a hassle. On paper, in theory, this is all very good indeed. But whatever it is, when it comes to citizenship, we've got to be very, very careful. If you recall, even here as liberal society, I say even here, I mean in UK, as liberal as they are with all this sort of, freedom, this and that and that and that, when they decided that they had to remove citizenship from a person, to all sense and purposes, this person was a British. You remember that young girl who left, I think, the shores of Britain. He left Britain at the age of 14 or 15 to go to Syria to go and join the ISIS brigade. You see, is it Jemina Begum? Jemina Begum. Young girl decided with her friends to travel all the way to Syria to go and be jihadist bride. So she went. And when the British get wind of it, easily. And citizenship so easy, sir. It will be and then you bring me Jachi question, the guy who has now been disqualified by the Supreme Court, saying he didn't follow the laid down procedures and the rules and whatever it is, the processes. So he's been disqualified officially. Now he's not an MP, so that seat becomes vacant and is Kufuor Abruzzo Chesem. Any brainy po giddy they have to go and do a by-election. This evening, if everything goes well, in fact, when I called him earlier on, he was at a meeting, but he spoke almost 5 minutes with me. Hopefully tonight, if and when everything goes well, we'll get James Jachi Question or James Joe Question to come and narrate or tell us what has really gone on. For me, what I will say is that I see it as it is the legalities, the legal entities, or the judges, the lawyers, the law that has to be streamlined, that has to be it has to be cleaned up so that rules and regulations will not be interpreted to suit every particular situation. The rules or the laws should be predictable. When I say predictable, those people who do law understand this, that it is laid down. When it is this, is that. You can argue about it, but in the end, it is how it is. So the outcomes of legal procedure, the resulting pronouncements should be quasi, you kind of say, okay. It should be, not simple, but predictable. So, or quasi-predictable, that means it's nearer to being predictable. But if the rules of the law, the laws and the rules are interpreted only to suit certain conditions and certain situations of the time, then it becomes problematic. That, you see, this is when people start rather looking at easy ways. Like, okay, now, if that's the case, let's make the law in such a way that anyone at all can come in to serve. Anyone can come to Ghana to serve in public life. The confusion that, this has brought about, including that of JDM, John Dramani Mahama's pronouncement, for me, it has to be looked very carefully. Because today, the confusion is that, okay, they will allow people to come and do certain jobs, certain high-profile jobs. But if not certain high-profile jobs, okay, anybody can go to Ghana if he's got a job to go and do a high-profile job. You don't have to be a citizen. But when you are guaranteed citizenship to everybody who has another, accredited citizenship, who lives in a third or fourth country with, dual or multiple citizenship, if the law is made that such free, to become citizen of Ghana as well and take up official jobs, i.e., let's say the Supreme Court judge, or let's say the parliament speaker or parliamentarian. And some people were saying, okay, we'll do that, but not president. What do you mean not president? The president should be a Ghanaian. And so should everyone who sits in the parliament. So if someone of dual citizenship can serve in our parliament, why can't the fellow serve as president? For me, when I see a year, because a number be a while, you don't have to go to, we can go to school before. And yeah, common sense, I said, what you doing with that, and so the resulting issues that can, things that are hidden, the unknown, or the known unknown. Yenim say, and some be between abeba, but yenim some cro, the known unknown. So this question of dual citizenship, I've opened the floor, I've opened the ground, ubia between the Canadian. Now, so Musa, by the courtesy of Dr. Joe Ajimai, some nice T-shirt. In fact, I sent comedy. Omumami Bukrana. Maybe this in me. Beautiful, beautiful T-shirts, white, red, and black, with the NDC logos and everything. It's very beautiful. And the material, and yet just singlet, very, very, very durable. Apparently, they've got 50 of them to go for free. And so, if you ring I have some questions. You answer the questions right, you get T-shirt of your size, of your choice. Because be our person otoma ukuna now yire anasa oba. So you get one T-shirt of the size of your choice sent to your home address. So this one is very simple indeed. If you call me, surely it should be NDC person because I know, sir, when you NDC, I want to mention. So the questions are very random indeed. Question maybe, but it will be related to your party NDC. Yeah, the questions will be related to your party. And if you answer it correctly, you get a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful T-shirt. The other issue I want us to discuss tonight is something that someone told me this afternoon. That apparently, we have at the Ghana consulate a new premises that they offer consular services. That's the visa, the passport, all those kind of things. But this assignment, this job has been contracted to foreigners, i.e. Indians. Apparently, they are efficient and their prices are competitive. Apparently, I've been told that the Home Office here in the UK, they have such practices where part of the Home Office, that's the visa or the document to stay in Britain section of the Home Office, some part is contracted to these Asians. But that doesn't make it appropriate for us to do same, or does it? I would love your input into this one. Right, welcome back. You are listening to Mansa Musa. The program is Fire Will Burn You. Fire Will Burn You. Anyway, tonight we will continue to discuss the indiscipline, or so it is, in the NDC rank and file. If you recall, not long ago in 2020 when the general election was held, the NPP had their parliamentarian at Formina, at Danse Formina. The MP didn't like what was going on or something. Internal party confusion, wranglings, and misunderstandings. So he decided to go. Independent. And the party hierarchy hated that idea. In fact, Akufo-Addo disowned him, that he cannot work with him. It was a very bitter what is the word? Oh. Acrimonious. That's the word. Acrimonious, your friend is saying. Elections are dancing for Munanino or the MPP for Nyae. In all this, when the elections were over, straight away, the MP decided to, in fact, by and large, the MP has joined back, he has gone back to the NPP. Quietly, they are running the country and he's got his wishes. Maybe they are happy as a party. So for me, I don't see why, if the hierarchy of the NDC decided to do a reshuffle, as painful as it's, this reshuffle was to the individuals that were affected. This is politics, and no man is an island. No one is, stands in a vacuum. No one is untouchable. Nobody is untouchable. So even if the NDC hierarchy decided to change the leadership in parliament, should that pain, that how do we call it, that disgruntledness, should it be carried over even after primaries? So far, I've only heard Muntaka talking back, insinuating, some words he's using that it's a coup that was, it was done to the parliamentarians those days, that it was a coup. Someone should have to tell Muntaka. I just don't get it. So because Muntaka feels that he has been voted by his delegates, whatever he did, whether they are happy with him, he sings for them to dance, whether they see him as the best man, whatever it is, he has won. But is it really necessary for him to come out with such statements? In all this, for me, I keep saying, the NDC looks as if, they are behaving as, how do I say it? As though, like, in the party. Because as a political party, if some insubordination is mounting, a serious one like that, talking back, refusing to accept the party's position on issues in parliament, doing the opposite, nobody says nothing. Nobody, I'm sure, till date, has been arraigned before a party disciplinary committee or something. Nothing. And so people like Muntaka feel they are above, the grade, above the mark of criticism or of checks and balances. Reshuffle here that the Muntaka still or come wasem as though say onuni nyansa mu no their reshuffle no mo here it has cost some MPs their position. And so what? The MPs who have lost their position, they have lost it to NDC people. Muntaka is becoming too big, or has become too big, because the NDC hierarchy itself is toothless. Toothless. It's like everyone is afraid of everyone else. When I send my little write-up about, I tell you what, almost about roughly, if I stopped counting, almost 122 or so responses. Some were long, some were short. Only 3 people supported, came in favor of Muntaka. Only 3. And so if Muntaka feels that really he is the top gun and really feels that not only the delegates but the people at Asawase will choose him over NDC, he should just move out. He should go independent. Let's see if Asawase people will vote against an NDC, contender. And, they will retain Muntaka in the general elections. Sometimes, look, this afternoon I was speaking to somebody and the fellow said, look, we all want a change. We really do. But my fear, the fellow was telling me, say, my fear is that NDC force be bano, no so be yene truka. Omo be yene truka. I'm saying, oh, by this time the omo co-position pa wako trans ya hwe de ekosu. Sa membo pa de I don't think so be yene truka. I say no, won't ase. And I'm saying okay, church, say because the reason is that the same people are previously among forces we no more, apart from the main man or here, Muhammad Noah, among for the all the attributes, all the blame no the man no, and no for blame no, but those who actually did rubbish things, mistakes, the same people are coming back. And the worrying thing is, according to the fellow who spoke to me, he said, look, ukasa u from na webusa mo say se bia bibi na opesa oni omo kan. They don't even want to bother. They say just emfa omo fu say omo nimu sine. Let me put in this music and go and answer to a telephone call which has just arrived. Okay, let me go on to the telephone, and a gentleman has just called in. Let's ask him. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, Kitty Austin, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. I thought you were talking to somebody else. Good evening. Yeah. I was asking a question. Why is Shedin Katia treating Mr. Kobna before who was to be a flag bearer? Why is he so harsh with him? I don't know if there's a fight there.
Well, I don't understand you either, because the primaries is already finished, and it is finished ago. I mean, they voted last Saturday. So why today asking about Dufo? I don't understand.
No, I read in the paper that his treatment of Dufour, I think, is a bit out of order. That's why I'm asking. I know if things are ended, but the treatment as a chairman treating a flag bearer that way, I sense that there's something wrong.
Okay. Anyway, to be honest, I don't even know about this. I haven't heard it. I haven't seen anything concerning Esiedun Ketia and Dufour. What I'm talking about here is the contract that has been given to Asians at the Ghana consulate, the dual citizenship issue, and of course, indiscipline in NDC and other matters. But as for the Esiedun Ketia issue, I don't know at all.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right. So, yes, we are talking about tonight. What I'm talking about is the issue of Ghana High Commission having contracted some businesses to a group of people who are not Ghanaians to handle affairs pertaining to Ghanaians. Well, those affairs will not pertain to only Ghanaians, but at least majority of the people who go to our embassies should be Ghanaian, even though other foreigners may also come in to do visas and everything. And that I have not been there to check, but according to the information I had, these Indians are working at a place called Tower Bridge here in London. There is a place there that if you need quick, you want what do you call express passport acquisition on the rest, you want things to be done quickly for you, you go there and they'll do it. And those people there, they apparently are Indians. Someone wrote to me that, look, even in the Home Office, that is the Ministry of Interior here in the UK, they also use such, contracts. Some of their contractors there are Asians to do other stuff. My argument is that in UK and other advanced countries, they have a high level of checks and balances. So if they give such sensitive sort of jobs, sectors to a foreigner or foreigners, they will know what they are doing, and they would have gone through the necessary safeguarding, all the safeguarding processes to ensure that their security or safety will not be, a subject of any, how do I say it, will not be, their safety will not be, what is the word for it? Will not be questioned or this is not true. Okay, Marty. All right. So yeah, that nobody, if the British are doing, doesn't mean we should also do it, because the point is, when you give all your state, I don't know how these things work, but if it is nothing to worry about, then I don't know why it should be given to foreigners. I just say Ghana for na betra krumo da do bie ni sa nimdie no a any expertise no a ye betumi dia ye passport matters. Bia ntumi nye sa adwuma no. And amo patch say it's cheaper than to bring Ghanaian foreign affair or foreign office workers like passport friends office follow to come and work. Maybe it is cheaper to hire Indians here in the UK than to bring Ghanaians. I don't know. If you have any experience, you can call me and let me know. Okay, I've got a message. Then we are talking about dual citizenship. Like I said, the gentleman who has been disqualified by the what do you call it? By the Supreme Court of Ghana, that he made some mistakes when he was denouncing his Canadian citizenship, or he didn't do it at the appropriate time, a whole lot of. So the Supreme Court has asked the Parliament to remove that gentleman from their books. We've agreed that at around 8 p.m. UK time, which will be 7 p.m. Ghana time, we've agreed that he will come and speak to us. So we can watch the space. Now, the International Monetary Fund has approved $3 billion bailout for Ghana, $3 billion bailout for Ghana, according to Graphic Online. According to the report, the bailout was approved at a meeting today, May 17, 2023, in Washington by Executive Board of the IMF unanimously. The program is expected to last for 3 years. The report further noted that a press release is expected in a few hours after all processes are completed and the deal is signed off. So, Ghana for 3 billion, no? You see a bedu. Enti, you see a tunyum di yamiaye. Nyumba for Musa Christo for nyumba ne betumi ato edi ahye onyame eniminyam because ye 3 billion for IMF no you see a bedu, which is all very good indeed, or it's not. It is. Say IMF edi scanaba edi see a beji. Now, High Court has granted Nyantechi's request to see Anas's face before court proceedings. Okay. Ghana for, you Ghanaians are funny. Hey, the whole world, very few people are brave to infiltrate into so many areas to get information. Anas's biggest mistake is to make, spy on Ghanaian thieves. Anas's biggest mistake is to spy on Ghanaian criminals, masquerading and parading themselves as officials, respectful people, including the president. Mrs. Subium, Anas Aremiyaw Anas, ni mistake kese pa wa ye wana brabom ni se wan fa nani ahwe abrochire ni ade de se mbre bi call Thailand na call Thailand for prison otumi ko hu nsemo ekoso enka oye kom kra no de ne ko bo Ojezera for and Ojezera for de ne ye sa investigations here ko ba gin sige gunubotum. The biggest mistake for Anas Aremiyaw Anas is that he intruded on the secret premises of Ghanaian criminals. As we speak, everybody in world football don't want to touch Anas, a friend saying Nyantechi. But in Ghana, even the Speaker of Parliament feels say Nyantechi no even the Speaker. That's how corrupt our people, the corruption, the fundamentals there, the agony mentality of what you penny for, corrupt and nothing else. A whole, a friend saying, a whole Speaker of Parliament, Ubekase, Kwesi Nyantechi, just Anas Ayeni Boni. Anas made very big mistake. He should have just, done some, you can't say, criminal investigations, underground investigations somewhere else. But like Kufuado, who can talk for even Jerry Rawlings to trust and believe him, Kufuado could talk. He can talk. So when he says that, I will adopt Anas's principles, Anas TLC, yeah, this is my man. Akwabi Kai or say to trust a Akufo-Addo is just like rubbing your forehead with rubbing your nose with the head of a viper. Watch it or cherubim, deadly poisonous snake. Then you are using the head to rub your nose. To trust a Akufo-Addo, that's what it is. You will rub your nose with the head of a deadly live viper. So today, anas yantechi so opeso ohun anim ansa na mo di asem no. Any country yantechi would have been in prison. Any other country apart from Ghana. Ghana penifo na ye ewifo kra dodo. Omu ye ewisem omu trim. Ye gu kromo a ye see economy ye ko bobo sia ye ni bini ade 3, 4, 5 years. The mansions, the wealth are politicians, young politicians omunyano obia chese it is normal. That's why whenever I hear anybody proclaim or prescribe next year's election, say mainly about economy, no, me simu apu. This election coming issue all be about corruption. Nothing but corruption. Because if we are able to corruption by 50%. It will affect everything, including the economy. Economy itself will be good. So for me, look, me coming some plain. I said in Katiaka, so the next election is about the economy. No, it's not. It's not. It's about corruption. It's the corruption which has caused the economy to collapse. It's not new. It's not any juju or yes, and it's not any Antoine. It is not magic. It is the corruption that has destroyed the economy. So I would love somebody to come and say, hey, the next is all about corruption, how we have to fight amongst ourselves to eradicate this rubbish disease. This is what I want to hear proper people say, oh, not about economics. Because the economics, the way we run our economics, nothing is in the hands of Ghanaians. Our economy is in the hands of the Americans and the British and the French. We don't manage anything. So no one should come and tell any pockets to anybody that the next election is about economy. No. Any member of a party that came out of a revolution, which had ideals, songs, mantra, with words like probity, accountability, transparency, call to duty, selflessness, all those things. Today, people in that party have forgotten those ideals. Those high virtues that your founder was preaching. Today, members of those parties, they've forgotten. And within them, they have become so corrupt amongst themselves. We all pray, we all do whatever we can to make sure this Akufo-Addo, a friend is saying, saga of a period, you be free ho. But that doesn't mean that we blindly trust anybody or foolishly we close our ears and we are jumping up and down. No. Sorry. Did you flash or you call? Because I couldn't see. Anyway, if you want to come again, come again. So tell people, tell the NDC hierarchy, they should rephrase or reframe their mantra. The next election is not about the economy at all. If somebody can fight corruption properly, the economy will stand on its feet. Because obian to him be dwanenum, ye obian to him be dwanenum so be economy ho hwe. Debi. Ye economy ni America for the IMF, ni World Bank, UK for any French for nsa, any be Spain for nsa. Because baby sikano honwa sikano bebre China crown. Still, we want to still go and give ourselves to the Paris Club. Thanks to Akufo-Addo. Nyama president. Let me go for a break. I'll be back.
Busiafo sese die ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana efi wiase afa na nyina ye nchia ka pre ane eye free top connect amasika mani aye mrekra ye wohia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo Play Store de ama wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect eye simple kra top connect wa manda buaduonum so wo Europe, North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a tem na emre ne mawa hoto so sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia for top connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect e wa befontin tafidie nyina so top connect Fesika mani wa dofo asumjemu a untia ka pre top connect yensu ye die
Abusia, let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send so your work can see come air conditioner and also dumb air conditioning no and said that more can see no crane say one funny papa and installation now mountia with everything called enterprise air conditioning installation at the Mawa Udamo a Rubia okay new never cold room it's a cold stores and Bavia you didn't see I was saying everything called enterprise. A nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you dika. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels on Sua. You want a nice at your Mawa, or you be a boost straight. Now, you know what you will fee. So, what the asset and our gas in a sense, say you'll come with the another dear and our cold store dear. Nina, a very nice and quick, but we will be a yet the amount. Musa more bridge, I'm always sit down or my canoe and over to me for you can lie with so. Yeah, be install air conditioning Ibiamamu. Frank +44 7508 650279. Oh, wager, I just sent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544 489 343 and 0302 906 276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise. Air conditioning master no.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio. Emu daho. Minia, tie fire will burn you. NFM Radio. Jumedia Mansa Musa ede bro. Ejwada kope memlida. Listen to fire will burn you on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Right, welcome back to the show, Mansa Musa. I am driving the ship, so if you want to come and join me to sail away, that will be your choice. That will be your decision. But we are discussing Ghana politics, including the issue of dual citizenship. Okay. So the point is very simple indeed. The dual citizenship, for me, I think the case that has brought about this discussion, if you recall, the MP for Asin North, okay, James Joe or James Jachikwesin has been disqualified by the Supreme Court. They have tried all these years to make sure that they reduce the number of the NDC people in the parliament. But the whole system of the NDC and their activities, it makes it difficult for anybody at all to even sympathize or follow or anything, because the same group of people that will shout and say that their opponents, the counterpart, those people at the other side, they are not good for the job they are doing, the same people will meet and they will endorse such people. It doesn't make sense, but let me go and listen to this guy called PLO Lumumba, this speaker on the African scene. He is very loud. He said something about African leaders. Let's go and listen.
You know, sometimes, and many are those times, when I read the story in the Bible, and I read about Jesus of Nazareth, and I wrap my mind about his humility, and I hear him many times saying that he did not come to be served, but he came to serve. Then I look at our leaders who, when they are seeking to serve us, when they are seeking our support, they are humility personified. They kiss babies. They go to the shebeen. They drink from dirty cups. They walk on foot. They smile with us. They take photos with everybody. They discard their security. They are humility personified. They speak the language that we want to hear. They do the things that they think we want to see them do. They delude us. They cheat us. And somehow we accept that they are leaders. But immediately they get what they want, or they have a reverse Pauline conversion. If they were Paul, they go back to being Sauls, and we can no longer recognize them. When you ring them, their phones are picked by somebody called a PA, whose only claim to fame that he is rude beyond measure. When you go to the offices, they no longer want to see you. When they are driving in the streets, their sirens scare you. While I suspect that those who discovered the siren meant that it should be used for good purposes, for them it is a badge of honor, and they harass us in the streets. They acquire things which they have not worked for. They promise us things that they know they will never deliver. They want to be described as honorable even when they are horrible. These are the men that we have.
These are the men that we have. That's PLO Lumumba. This is a fellow who talks and talks well. You see, he said they want to be known as honorable when we know they are dishonorable. They are not good people, these politicians. Let me go and listen to Osajo. Kwame Nkrumah too had what we call a short interview. Just a short one, just to refresh our memories. Let's go.
Meet now the man who has led this new nation to independence, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Prime Minister of Ghana. After he had visited your country, John Gunther, the American writer, said that he thought Ghana had one of the greatest opportunities in the history of mankind. Now, would you agree with that?
I do, because this is an opportunity for the African to demonstrate to the world that the African, given the chance, can manage his own affairs.
And can you live up to this chance, do you think?
I think we are prepared to live up to this opportunity. We have had 5 years of what we call internal self-government. And now we are going into a period of complete independence and sovereignty. And with the experience we have had, I'm quite sure that we shall be able to live up to this opportunity.
So that was Sergio, pardon us for the lack of volume on that one. You are listening to Mansa Musa, and the station is NFM Radio, and the show is Fire Will Burn You. Right, so those of you, I don't know, those of you watching Facebook or YouTube, you can see I was talking to somebody. You could see my mouth moving up and down, but you couldn't hear nothing because that was a private conversation. And the man who has been disqualified by the Supreme Court, he was the one I was speaking to. And as we speak, if I could hear noise, he's in the middle of a meeting. And that when it's finished, he'll come back and he will speak to us. My friend, he said this was an inspiring speech from the professor. Thank you very much, Ni. Those of you, if you want to bring your message, to bring it. So the latest news is that the IMF has granted Ghana the money Ghana needs, 3 billion. I suspect what they do is they don't bring the money in bulk. They bring it small, in installments, as they say, in installment. If you owe somebody or council or you owe anything, they will, even if you are going to pay £2 a week, they will collect. It will make you soppy. That's what the IMF is doing. But you see, in all this, today, Mr. Kwesi Pratt said something, and to me, that was something I've not even thought about. He said that many people are coming out proclaiming that, they have the chance to be president. They have the chance. They too, they want to be president. And Kwesi Pratt laughed, and you know how that not cynical, but that laughter to say that, look, you are joking. He said, look, anyone who wants to be a president, first and foremost, should sit down quietly in his room and think to yourself that, hey, so I want to put myself in Osajifo Nkrumah's shoes. You see what it is? When you put yourself, when you think that, oh, me, I want to be president, so I want to put myself in Osajifo's shoes. When you think like that, and that doesn't scare you, then maybe you have what it takes to be a president. Until that, it's all jokes. Everybody thinking they are good enough. There's a lot of accusation and counterclaims between Ghanaian, Ghanaian TV radio presenters, especially the Akan fraternity. They be no more 3 months. We can't wait. Now, the thing is, everybody wants to be the top dog in town. You see, everybody wants to be, say, me na minimum semono, me na metin semono, me na minimum crofo. So even when they are all, speaking about the same thing, instead of all of them try to complement each other, instead they become envious of each other, and then the arguments and insults starts. So first and foremost, at least, let me say this. I said it previous before I started playing the music, that the economy that, for me, Mr. Esedun Ketia said, he did the reshuffle in Parliament because the next political campaign or the elections is all about the economy. I do not agree. Me, Mansa, no, it's wrong. It's all about economy. Because, look, the economy, Ghanaians, we should not lie to ourselves. We should not just, just tickle ourselves and laugh. We should not deceive ourselves. Our economy is not controlled by the people in Accra. Our economy, we don't control it. So the election is not going to be about the economy. Our economy is being controlled either remotely or by strings, like you see the puppet on a string. Our economies are being controlled from Washington, New York, from London, from Paris, maybe even from Barcelona. We don't have any control over our economies. What the next election should be about is the overwhelming, the Ghana that is being engulfed is being swallowed by corruption. Corruption is what we have to fight. And for a party that came out of a revolution with so many mantras, so many sayings, so many slogans. Accountability, probity, and this and that and that. For that, this party, the party should be talking about the level of corruption that is happening now and how they will come and tackle it. Because if, like I said, if we bring down corruption to 50 level, where we are, we'll bring corruption down a little, the economy will look after itself. It's a fact. Because when you get $200 million to build something, and you make sure that that thing is built, and you make sure that that thing works for returns, for profits, to repay the debt, the loan. If you make sure that Auditor General will not come and report that 10 billion of our cedis is gone somewhere, they can't trace it, and everyone is quiet. Oh Lord, the election is not about economy. It's about corruption and the lack of fight. It is NDC for especially. MPP for, like Jerry said, they have their motto, they have the way they are, and they will never change. The way they are, it is that they feel the land is theirs. Otherwise, how can Sir John be sitting he's somewhere and share part of a forest reserve far away from his hometown, share it and give some to his nephew? How can he do that if it's not about the ideology of the party he belongs or he belonged? This is what it is. Jerry said it, Jerry Rawlings said it, that these UP and Nkrumahs and those things, they have the way, you see, that's the way they are. Like, they are like the story of the scorpion. The scorpion, right? That massive rainfall and the rivers were very, very high, heavy. The rivers is, complete, running, everywhere. The rivers have overblown its banks and nobody can cross. There's no bridge. Then the frog said, okay, you scorpion, you can't swim. I can swim. You can sit on my back and I will paddle across the river, paddle you to the other side, I'll carry you to the other side of the other bank. But please, don't do anything silly. Don't bite me. Scorpion say, well, we'll see. Scorpion sat on the back of the frog. In the middle of the swim in the river, Scorpion bring out his teeth to bite the frog. The scorpion's bite you is very poisonous. So the frog became dizzy. And he said to the scorpion, Abai Scorpy, I ask you that I'm going to carry you across the river, but please don't bite me. What have you done? Now I'm feeling dizzy and I'm going to die. The scorpion replied, oh, this is how I was created. Oh, that is me. This is how I was created. God created me like that. I have to be biting. You see, so as Jerry Rawlings said, advised his own NDC some time ago that, look, don't copy these MPP people. Don't try to be like them. For them, they know what they are and how they are. What they are is to amass wealth. They don't mind if they give half of the wealth to a foreign white person and they also keep half to enjoy with their family. That's what they are. Otherwise, there's no way if people follow Asante and he come to Britain to come and make his birthday party in Britain. Whilst you go, you turn your head to look at Kumasi. Even the so-called garden city, the Kumasi itself. Forget about other places. The poverty you hear, the lack, the want for everything. Then your paramount chief, King, will travel, come to Ritz Hotel, all these big hotels. The hotels are 50,000 a night, 10,000 pounds a night. Minimum you get 5,000 pounds a night. These people come here and celebrate their birthday. So Rawlings' advice is NDC. But it looks like it's very difficult for them to adhere. The NDC people. That's why I say no one should lie to anybody that the next election is about economy. It's not about economy because we Ghanaians, most Africans, we don't control our economies. Our economies is being controlled from far away. If we remove corruption, then the economy will look after itself. If we maintained, if we controlled corruption, the economy will look after itself. I've already said it. Now you are still asking me, Mansa Musa, can I call? Of course you can. He said, Mansa Musa, you have spoken well about the current corruption issues by the MPP government, and I totally agree with you. Thank you. I know so many people, big men listening, I can't mention their names, they will agree with me, but most of them, you dare not even call them or ask them to come and say anything. Today, somebody asked some silly question that okay, thank you. Someone asked a question that, was it true that Osajifo Nkrumah gave about $10 million to Mali? That was a silly question. You see, Africans are fools. Yeah, Jimmy. At that time, Osajifo saw that we had the money, so we needed to build factories. We built a corned beef meat processing factory in the north. But where we build the factories, they don't rear cows, or we didn't have cows. But Africans, the Malians, the Nigerians, and the rest, they have plenty cows. So Osajifo gave money to Mali to manage their, agro, or the animal husbandry, rearing of cows, sheep, and goats, and the rest. Meanwhile, that money was even repaid. But the nonsense, you see, because I said, do Africa, they say, for this long time, we are here in Africa, we not a single African country. And now, Obetuaka say, oh, Ghana for a whole 3 years, you $1 billion or more. Now, you turn within the next 3, 4, 5, or 6 years. A billion hosa. And it's better say, Beko Bruni, Abrofuno, Akoye, La Sulala, now omo dead, no more dear who fell. They will get some monies from the white people, but say, Black nation, we bet our own people, they are paid like people are saying, why should Nkrumah give our money to Mali? The money was actually given, it was repaid. Malians have paid that money back. You see what I mean? So, and every year, you two oil, Equatorial Guinea, several years. Ye two oil in Nigeria several years. In Chad, not Chad, Gabon, part of Cameroon. And for the North Africans, don't even count them because they are of a different breed. But oil money, gold money, agriculture money. In fact, yesterday I heard some, or was it today? The African leaders, about 6 of them, they are going to meet President Putin and Zelensky to talk, somehow about ways and means to stop the war. and which is good. But if you listen to the narration, I mean, it's like the Africans are suffering because the wheat prices, and Ukraine is the massive exporter of wheat, and the Africans are running short of wheat. Now, I'm saying, Joe. You see, the place they are going, they are warring, they are fighting. We are going to try to get them to stop because we need to be fed. Yeah, Africans, Kosra Putin and Zelensky of Ukraine to stop the war, right? It's a good thing. But the reason is that war on internet accommodate. Jesus Christ. Anyone who has traveled across any length and breadth of Africa, if you take the plane, right, and you go straight upwards, you will see the Sahara, there's a plenty. But if you take the plane to go across, like along the equator, Jesus Christ, you see what is called green. Green. The land and the rivers. Now Africa for say, because a commodity. And it's a Osajifo at the $10 million money for say, look, mo find agriculture, no mo find and building more friends, a cow, rearing, no, mo want to train baby, na mo find a train umbra and if I corn beef near sporting co baby, baby Africans are almost. This was a very good idea. The same people UP4 are standing for. The same people, they go around complaining. Now, on hini poor muhini, etimi to kwa party, the birthday wa bruchre. Now, a fini sumuni kankai, ewa mukrom ho. We have to back our ideas up because the way we are going in is rubbish. And try ye and fakra, good. Okay, thank you. I will tell you for free, good. The way things are going, as they say, we have to get our act together. Mansa Musa, this is the program Fire Obey You. right, welcome back to the show. Mansa Musa is here. I'm riding on the crest of waves, and I'm enjoying the music and the joy. You see, when somebody feels they are bigger and mightier than anything else and anybody, this is how they speak and this is how they talk. Leadership reshuffle was a deliberate strategy to eliminate me. And this apparently was said by Muntaka. You see, what Muntaka have said, it could be very true that the NDC fraternity really wanted to eliminate him, to remove him out of the picture completely. But the question is why? Why will the NDC people decide to, do away with one of their prized assets? If you understand me, if someone is good at what they are doing, and what he's doing will help the organization that he belongs, if what he's doing will help, win them power, why will the NDC decide to get rid of Muntaka? That's the question. I'm saying it could be very true that they just can't stand the sight of him. But the question is why? Because there's no way NDC people, the hierarchy will say, oh, hey, this guy is good. He's helping us. So the NPP people fear him. The NPP people are afraid of him, but let's get rid of him. Why would they do that? Any proper, matured politician wouldn't do what Muntaka is doing now. No way. You've had your primaries. Whatever you did to win, you won. Fine enough, let's move on. For you to be saying, the things that he's saying on Twitter and other media spaces, it is wrong. But in all this, I can say whatever I have to say. But if you think the fact that NDC, the hierarchy, the party cannot bring order to, into their midst, or they can't whip their members into into straight lines and into a subordinate sort of behavior, that is very bad. If I were Muntaka should know that the NDC people wanted to remove him because they have seen him now to be a liability. That he is no more an asset. So if I were him, Muntaka, I would work hard, to restore that credibility, to regain that trust, so that your people will see you as an asset, not as a liability, as is happening now. I don't know who advises Muntaka, but just because he won, he should come and be, rubbing people's faces in it, trying to, insinuate that, okay, you wanted me out, but you cannot get me, I'm still here. If Muntaka seriously think that his Asanwase people will choose him over NDC, I don't know, I don't get it. If really it's true, if it really it is true that Asanwase people will choose Muntaka over their party NDC, then Asanwase people too, you people too, I don't know what to tell you. If seriously you think anyone, if I should believe that the people of Asanwase will actually select Muntaka over another candidate for the NDC. Another candidate. I mean, if Muntaka thinks he's that, clever, he's that tough, he's that the best man, and he's not happy because the NDC structure is now, has now been formulated, it's there. And Muntaka will have to respect and obey it. In Ghana politics now, the politics is now very different. That now even it is, I'm sure it is rather the NDC who are, the NDC going to obey Muntaka. When I sent my article, many people responded. Only 3 I can remember who spoke on behalf of Muntaka. One even went as far as being, how do I say it, being very, what do you call it? The word is rude. Very rude. He said, Muntaka should remember that when that Chinchinga thing came, we kept quiet and supported him. Today, Muntaka said on TSC, NDC hierarchy decided to make changes in the parliament. On TSC, because of Muntaka, we really was Sawase. Akobi can say Ghana for ne Jimmy Samodier. A dog super. I mean, bo campaign messages in me ba near Betwaso.
Za munya NDC nya ewo United Kingdom na Ireland chapter da ma bri so michia na manyu ba bezian abato ho nkomo dem a wore nyim na okaren kakra na yakoto abaye ze yan mpenyimfo a wo party do wo da mi chapter ya meji ho nkomo na manyu ba bezi chairman akwa no ho nkomo da ma bri chairman akwa campaign a wo gina there to wando abana wombe chairman nemu chairman akwade ojina ho prekope nti mesraw de ebo to waba na eza ma chairman akwa na wabe chairman bo United Kingdom and Ireland chapter usane de okitan hihye bebre ya me na dom na so be chairman a opede ozuboa awa eye member bo United Kingdom na Ireland na NDC party ni na da na dom hihye no mu binyi the establishment of a welfare program. Demo welfare program numu mfoso benyi abribiara NDC nyi ehwehwambo wo sekasama film bibi kakre bia ezebototo nzama wa abra ahokyira aba no demo welfare program ebohwe na wonsa ka bibi kakra ofi £50 zuko £400 na enyesika etume botua eyi chairman akwana adwena opede ozuboa NDC ibiso nye de NDC member biara obenya any immigration issue ana mbrem nsemi biara wo bibia otena wo United Kingdom ana Ireland chairman akwa establish mpenyumfo a wobetsena ho na wahwe na advice biara oyembra konodo na wadi amaw impo se pelo enyi bi no wegina na waka wasem bi amaw wo United Kingdom ha ana Ireland da mpenyumfi wo mu bi num ye lawyers a obotum wegina ma amaw na waji bibi kakre bi wa bra obotum wa abo na wo bibiara so akodo welfare program kuyara suya chairman akwa opede ozubobo azi onu so behwe na yenua numa wo United Kingdom na Ireland nyinara awona woye into event organization photographers awona wo shishe bibia amanfo ye one parties one weddings nyina obaka wo nyinara abom dem obeya NDC member biara obenya any event there oye wedding outdooring bibiara no wetu wa bobo no wa ya man wa bra onko tue sika te dema okakafo obi wa padu ana enchen bi na wa be da mad na man chairman akona nimpemfo so bohwe na abibiara any welfare ana any social issue biara oba affected member biara no obaba obo wechi na bibiara de wodze mo ana bibiara de woye na wodze bo program wa kodo no wetu wa yendam na ahomka wa ba welfare program ye bibia se nyamobo na se chairman akwa obeye chairman wo United Kingdom na Ireland no musam kakra na me putu hu za atrewi odobobaji na woda aboa awo member na woda aboa yen NDC MPI na pebenazi munya NDC nya ewo United Kingdom na Ireland to waba former chairman akwa nyamubuo na sene sakaze biu na ono so obegina na wahwede mama ka nyinara odzibe yi dwuma na party na akwa n'enyim.
National Democratic Congress NDC no nyem forman na emamu UK ni Ireland chapter no ya yetienie bena so say ebe to aba every chapter chairman fofo na hwede chine no mu mikoto on this way enyonya for Dr. Joe Ajimai the restoration man the father say ebe party no wenim kai odi amonyesema kotile yie no we to the place wo performance room koso woni mu adwumade die e fa ne hotituru na esine nan so umade bebre no die gwa kwamu a obeye dia maye bini se o sigina ye esipo no dwumade bia me kire party office na odisika £3 empeme num na ato ase eye £5,000 o santi magwo ni mama honsu £1,000 na ebe show mu dwumade mu kida na esigina ye Dudon swa, which I prefer all the tromudi, Abeka party in a hoodie. Omo Mrakao, and Musabeka Omudika, and 10 times so. Na Achi Adam Abeka home. And what was so many and said so. Party moon venom fua, only the radio ever show Musediano, about 2 saffron what's nasi. Not the idea show Musa, the over Bumo and Marco. Why did the Brennan or Bayama? Only a supporter possible mountuma, Miss Sunny D. Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man. Tata Chairman Anna, Yantumano. NFM Radio. NFM Radio. Emutaho. Minia, see fire will burn you. I want NFM Radio. Jumedia Mansa Musa Ede. Listen to fire will burn you on NFM Radio. With Mansa Musa, Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Right, welcome back to the show. Mansa Musa is here with you. Anyway, so the message I'm getting is that Joe Quesin is still at a meeting, so we got to wait a little bit. According to Steve Hanke, that American economists. According to Akufo-Addo, he said a critic of Nana Akufo-Addo administration has expressed his disapproval of President of Ghana's economic management in a tweet on Tuesday, May 15th. Professor Steve Hanke, an academic at the US-based Johns Hopkins University, said he is not surprised that a huge majority of Ghanaians said it in a survey that they think the country is heading in the wrong direction under Akufo-Addo. According to Afrobarometer, 87% of Ghanaians think that their country is heading in the wrong direction, and Mr. Hanke said, I am not surprised. Reacting to an article by FT titled How Ghana's Economy Became a Cautionary Tale to Africa, the professor of applied economics said Akufo-Addo has mismanaged Ghana's economy. As for this one, it is something that, we can say it forever. No one there for Akufo-Addo home. And fan who cry say, we can say, on any crop for mismanage economy. They don't care because all what now at the moment, what the MPP, Akufo-Addo, and the rest of them, what they are thinking about is to how to get away with such treachery, such theft. It's how to get away with it. And one of them, omo campaign, me hu ya na baumia, edini cars bebre, we penti ni di wo, me sure sa lunch amanteso di cars beba, ubia. Just for them to get the advantage, said they will still be in power. Because someone will say power is the pressure noir, Yedibe Gu Muhammad in Crawford, so to make sure that at least half of the money could go abroad, including the your friends, the Kanufuriata, and in the bankers, and in the banks, Enya Ghana ho. Ghana debt, we have to go to the same court, use judges who can also interpret the law in a certain way to get those monies back. Because the only way about your economy Ghana is the only way is to fight corruption. Anytime I get hold of any of this anytime I get hold of any of this, especially the NDC people, I will ask them what they intend to do or intend doing before election, or what they want to do when they get into power. And I don't want to hear any answer like, oh, we are basically economy, no, debi. Forget about the economy. All what you got to tackle first day, is people to bring the revolutionary zeal, people to start the Anuta Continua. And in this time, this period, it's not going to be buga, soja, self, debi. People will use the same law and run a good criminal to fish out wrongdoers. The corrupt people, we've got to fish them out. Because surely will be to me convincing me say, for the past 6 to 7 years, Ghana ubia nye boni, ubia ni sika. Omo ye boni pay from almost 6 to 7 years. Ye di na sem court opuni. That's the only person. Actually, ye di na sem for 7 years. Akufo-Addo Crawford sika yira sika omuwia. Imagine, look at this case of the procurement agency boss. I've forgotten his name. This guy was suspended, and when they suspended, they made sure he got the time to to take all his monies away from the bank. Before you could put a moratorium on his monies or seize it, was the son is seeking in our court at the baby a could decide scandal. You could find to say or fight corruption. Corruption is going to be the main target, the main objective of anybody at all who is anyone who wants to be in power. Come 2024, if the NDC group, if they feel that they cannot be trusted, then they should just leave us alone. Because in Yabri, and Kwasasabuna Dorso, and Kwasasabuno Adorso. Today, I will try and see if I can get Jojinapo. These MPP people, remember, claimed not long ago that there was overproduction of electricity. Electricity power. It was excess capacity. That's the word or the term. Excess capacity. Meanwhile, those companies with equipment that were generating so-called excess capacity, the NPP government Kufuor has increased that tariff. He has increased their mandate. Say instead of saying a contract in 5 years, a Kufuor assign increasing it to another 20 years. But these same people were going around blaming Mahama over capacity. No, we didn't need it. These people they are wonderfully very treacherous. And Kufuor above every evil that happened, existed in Mahama's time is now tenfold. It's now 100-fold. But every good thing that happened is zero as we speak. These people are wonderfully treacherous. They are absolutely, they are like beasts. They are like poisonous snakes. So I repeat, my message to NDC, to Siedu Ketia and co, to all of them, that the 2024 election is not going to be about economy. It should be about corruption. If we tackle corruption, the economy will be stable. Unless they say, we are saying it's going to be about economy because we know we are going to tackle corruption. Okay, if you say it that way, fine. If you say it that way, fine. Because, like I said, the election, it shouldn't be about the economy. Because Ghana's economy, Ghana president, Ghana officials don't control our economies. Our economy is being controlled from far away. And then you acquire IMF now, a achievement, they say, IMF discovered an achievement. And now, who is going to actually talk about IMF being a bad thing again? Who is actually going to say that in Ghana? That is the level. That is the level that now the IMF going, and also an achievement. These people about 6 months or a year ago, they were touting, they said, we will never go to IMF. IMF is a disgrace. IMF is that, this and that. Everything they want to say, they said it about going to IMF. Then they had to rush and do my business. If they don't do this now, or mind about giddy, seizing people's money left, right, and center. And the people who have amassed so much wealth, almost can they be for Musa. What sort of country is this? What sort of society is this? The society that everybody knows that and people are quiet. It is just what it is. From now onwards, let's be hearing from these NDC people that they are going to scrutinize. I know people say that, Mansa Musa, when you say these things, you frighten the hell out of these Ekufado people because of that, they will tend to maybe bring the country to a standstill. Otherwise, civil war or something. Because they don't want to lose power, because they know that when NDC come to power, they are in trouble. So be it. So be it. Who in their right mind will say we are struggling under huge load of debt? Then within the time that we have overborrowed, still you are going to borrow more. And not because you need the money to do any better thing. Even the money is to repay the debt so that will release or give you the space to borrow. You are not paying those debts. I'm just urging the NDC to come out with a strong, proper mantra, strong, proper message that they are going to investigate big time. Nobody should say they are going to use Anas's principle, because they say Anas principle, Uganda for are discrediting Anas principle. Today, Anas is being investigated left, right, and center in Accra as we speak. Because the biggest mistake of Anas's professional life was to actually conduct investigations, spy on judges, criminals in the country. Anas spied on them. Now he is the enemy. If you have such country, how will the country develop? Where everybody is everybody. Yesterday I watched a show and school feeding or school food procurement. That one too, every shady business is going on. Every shady deal is going on. Every chief, every principal, manager, or anybody in the ministries, everybody have got a share in the booty. Many people in Ghana today who have so much wealth, if you ask them how they acquired that wealth, just a simple question, they will start insulting you. So I repeat, and I request from John Dramani Mahama, he says, the rest of them, that the next election is all about fighting corruption. If you guys don't know, if you're able to control corrupt activities, the economy will be well. Any country that have so high a level of corruption, the country never prospers. It doesn't work. It's not magic, it's not hallelujah, it's not about building cathedral. It's not God. God will mind you, God will not listen. If everybody is corrupt, and the annoying thing for me as an African, what annoys me more is the fact that these corrupt guys will not even keep the money in Ghana or in Nigeria. They keep the money far away. Far away. So the money stays somewhere and their people suffer. If Africans, Ghanaians, Nigerians stole the money from their countries and use the money to build stuff, work, jobs. The other time I heard something, I shook my head and I nearly cried. I think it was Okuja Tobacco who said those big priests and pastors in Ghana, they have enough resources to build a bigger cathedral than what the Ekufado is proposing. When he said that, I just shook my head. I said, well, you see, these big, high-profile persons, high flyers in our country, Ghana, the only thing they can do is to build massive church. Nobody is saying that, these people can build one of the best, factories or, some infrastructure, some serious development. No. I mean, Ghana is Kafou. What they can do is to build a church. Mentality ni na say. Mentality if we are for Ghana for before for no, they have been trained to undermine the intelligence now. All these Opoku, Mate, Duncan Williams, all those guys, they have been trained to undermine the intelligence of the ordinary persons. So only sing and talk about God. Sing and talk about God. And that has been our bane. Any.
For Society, Yenam Top Connect so Emanisika de Bagana if we are Fananina, Yenchia Capre. Anne, are you free? Top Connect a Messica money, I am Rekra. You hear the sound download with Top Connect app no Play Store. Diama Android phone, and as we use iPhone so or Apple Store, not download the Top Connect. A simple cra. Top Connect to a mind of radio, Musa, Europe, North America, and Asia. Woman will do for Sikafa Top Connect so a na emre na mawa hoto swonso sisi sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia for Top Connect plus 442-081-6155 and a plus 442-081-761-600 plus 447-882-950-088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our Belfont interfidie nyina so Top Connect for sika mane wa dofo sumjemu a wontia kapre Top Connect yes ye die
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send says so you work come air conditioner now so damn air conditioning no and said that more no crane say one funny papa na my installation now mountia with everything called enterprise say air conditioning installation at the Mawa Odemo a Rubia okay new never code room it's a stores and Bavia you didn't ever see I was saying everything called enterprise every year a nice one at your Mawa a Rubia no but you you install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You're one a nice animal or you'll be able to be a so straight not to your body will fee. So what do you say? And our gas in a say you'll come with the analphia dear and our co-store dear. Nina, a very nice and quick will be a beer. You don't want to get the amount. Most of more rich, I'm always sit down or make it around. Over to me a friend you can lie with so. Yeah, may install air conditioning. Friend plus 447508650279. Wager adjacent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, friends 0544489343 and 0302906276. Your website everythingcode.org and I send you email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything Code Enterprise air conditioning master no.
NFM Radio.
NFM Radio.
Sir Ekufodo, I'm telling you, I'm looking into the camera and telling you, say you are the joke of the century. You are the joke of the century. And sit down. Say you be via oba, say you see that to abaya wiem. And sit bien. You are the joke. It is the case is via. Say, and then Ekufodo can sign down. Or prepare one more new electoral commissioner. Or offer the year and the deputy. Offer a Gabi as I was saying. Edison, no offer Professor Timedia Tio. Offer Femi, Professor Timedia Tio. Offer the Panso, our young one of Busha for the Nayon for no form of electoral commission or Abna Kofi Young Abna also winning from Kubu. Abaye between NPP be here on we abo obi e di wo Ghana hanu a ohu NPP say ene NPP o for Jesus Christ ko for Muhammad komseni Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam e betina wo say Yesu ene ye flag bearer komseni Muhammad ene ye the running mate yentu aba in the name of NPP for the first time in the history, yes, Muhammad very was young dear, Yensasu Penny. At the tea, you are how they have been a dear for the Diacomo. They can't tell him. He will be the best of the joke of this century. He should be. And he bra, you did not trouble. And to maybe this is for head or power for the name electoral commissioner. Chaba the electoral police station. I never got to electoral commission. Electoral police station. You and Jomo dear. Omo pa. Omo tintin Ghana for sa. We a bedroom home. Now they bedroom home. And we say we are saying says we utop the kwa utop udokwa the digital. Nana my main camera. Oh, those words that I hate to say. Coons and buffoons used against people of color for years in the times of slavery. In those days when children, babies were torn away from their mother's breasts, when brother was turned against brother and sister against sister, when father and mother and child were sold to different bidders. In those painful years, for fear or for some little favor, one brother would say unkind things about another, so that master would whip that brother in public, and the one who reported him gets the crumbs off their table. Beware African leaders, for you are falling into this trap again. You've been to school, so don't be a fool. Think before you speak to the oppressor. Why would one leader, why would the head of one household rise from his household into another household, only to go and gossip and speak ill of their neighbor, their brother? What do they get? Why, in a time when all are saying, or of course a few are saying, hey, please don't beg, because when you beg, you disgrace us all, does one go to say unkind things about another, to one no better than the oppressor, so that he can get a favor? Think about it. You see, when you say people do not respect leaders, it is not that they don't respect leaders, they don't respect titles. For leadership is in what you do. Remember, there are no permanent friends, only permanent interests. Think.
Name manage 2 years. Say the fear be 2 years. I want them. What's name? What's name 2 years? We are 2 years. I can. Say sir, that's someone has said per se. Open single room. Say I know put 600. Put 500. Put 700, 800. You are dying. Says here agent for agent 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee. Just show you the room. Says here if you are for blood, your mother am agent for Uchiaya 9,600 also utia agents 900 600 900 and almost 1,000 cities. Why? Are you to the why? Like why? What? Like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you are taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Because you see, me and 6 months in 1 year. To see how the we Juma may fear. Busumi pay the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one pay. Because a whole month no pay. And see back on one bed. Ume should be you. Ume should be you or my one penny for Munka once a machine. You for the year brenna ye kunku anyhow. A direct in tea ye begging pontino. Ubacoma ye kun. Ubacoma ye kun to you to ye bren moon. A dancing air queen. A day. How? Ghana, yeah, black papa, a day. And then fear walking in and catch a person, me patrol me padana, because of the agents. Agents, very fees so do what said them, or bet you 80 cities and now say 100 cities. And then dance so man dying, who could have 600? Oh, nothing room name. Or do 2 years, 600 cities, 2 years. Because of that, you need to get what's in Mudadano, or no person or 2. Now, or do a group of a show on 1 to 600, 1 to 500. Let the Uchi and into a person who 2 years. And to move can shame my say you to the year bread. Yea, and better to a bone, ye actually to a back. I make your very influence in call for a
So basically what you have there are you have communication specialists, directors of communications, deputy directors of communications, technical communication assistants, media aides, media liaison officers, communication consultants, presidential advisor on media who has a technical director to the presidential advisor. Then you have the ministers of state at the presidency.
And these guys are there for information minister.
Yes.
No, go through that list again. Just on the communication side.
There's a lot to communicate.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
You have information minister who's cabinet level.
Who has ISD working for him too.
And then you're having all these guys working under the presidency.
Who work under communications directorate. Yeah.
Of the presidency.
Yeah. There's a lot to communicate.
You can't be serious.
I'm just telling you there's a lot to communicate. So
and what are the conditions of service of these people?
Nobody knows. That's the issue.
That's why the transparency is not. So if I'm a lecturer in Legon and I've been teaching for 15 years, right? And I struggle to get my PhD. And then you have somebody who is a technical director to who has access to fuel. Read the letter they wrote. They said their fuel thing is not gone up. So this technical director, what's the competence, what's the qualification of somebody to do this work? So if we are not transparent, and I'm saying that this is mathematics, this one is not sentiment. If the government wants the pressure from the labor unions to go down, and they want to, and if they want a credible plan for IMF to, if the plan is not credible, see, if people don't accept the plan, it's not credible. If the labor unions, the businesses don't accept the policy, the IMF will not accept it. So if they will not be transparent with these guys and say, this is what we are doing, I can understand why you have all these guys working, and what are they doing? You said they have a lot to communicate. What are they communicating?
I'm just telling you. But if, what would be the justification for
look at
directors of communications?
Mention the mention the post again. Mention the thing again.
So the directors of communications.
How many directors of communication?
Yes, 4.
4 directors of communication, and then deputy director of communication.
There are 5 deputy directors
at the presidency.
Yes.
And then which one again?
2 communication specialists.
So the director is not a specialist. Okay, the specialist below.
There's a lot to communicate.
2 communication specialists and
2 communication officers. 5 technical communication assistants.
So you have 4, 5, 9, 6, 7 plus 3, 10, 15.
Media aid.
How many?
1.
Media aid.
Assistant media liaison
16,
officer.
17.
Communication consultant.
18.
Then there's a presidential advisor on media.
Charlie, are you sure you are not joking? Are you saying what are you? What is not joking? What are you saying? No.
Of all the positions,
guys, let's go through this again. Let's go through this thing again. I want to be sure. And sorry if we are picking.
I'm telling them today, this is an opportunity for me to speak. They should demonstrate and who follow them. What is it? Are they waiting for 2024? And they should go anywhere. They should go to wherever they wanted to go. The president and the ministers,
Right. Then about the people are not happy. You are listening to Mansa. I needed to play one or two of these sound bites in order to get some telephone calls. Those of you in Accra have been told finding it a bit difficult to listen to the radio tonight, which is strange, really, because I've checked everything and it is working all right. So those of you in Accra, let me know. Either send me a signal on WhatsApp or Facebook and YouTube, then I can know what is going on, because I've checked and everything is working all right. So maybe one or two of you are having difficulties. Obviously, sometimes the radio, sometimes when the signal becomes a bit untenable, then all sort of problems. But I'm hoping that we are on top of things. I'll go to Accra and speak to a gentleman, Tafa Abubakar. He said yesterday he was very tired after all the election traveling up and down. So when it's about time, I'll go there. But tonight, we are discussing indiscipline in the NDC, and notably Muntaka, his comments about the fact that the NDC reshuffle in Parliament not quite long ago was done to undermine undermine his position. The NDC can deny that they didn't want to do that. But even if they did, that was their plan. Muntaka should know that many people within the NDC fraternity, many people in NDC bases have come to regard him as a liability. He is no more an asset. He is now being regarded as a liability. So Muntaka, as we say in the local parlance, he should shine his eyes. He should check himself and shine his eyes. He should stop those comments. It's childish. It's amateurish. You have won a primaries, so you move on. You try to make yourself, what do you call it? Inclusive to your party. Make yourself available. Don't make things difficult for anybody by criticizing the hierarchy. So if you, Muntaka, the hierarchy wanted to remove you, who are you at all? Why? I just say, untouchable. Muntaka should ask himself, NDC for no person come, because you have lost that credibility. People don't see you as an asset. It's as simple as that. The other thing I'm talking about is about the fact that here in London, the High Commission, the consulate for Ghana, they have got acquired another building somewhere, a place called Tower Bridge. And this is where now services are being rendered for anything, if you require visa, change of passport, renewal, all those things. But the people working there are not Ghanaians. They've been contracted to a group of Indians. And apparently, those who support this idea are saying that these Indians are working very diligently. They are very efficient. So me, Mansa Musa, what I say is that if that's the case, then we might as well give the High Commissioner himself to an Indian. the military attaché, because if they are going to be efficient than our own Ghanaians. And because someone does so, this madness got to stop. The excuses. So yeah, they have a better say, yeah, born you nimu hui. We should accept that we are simply not good. It be so. Abba, I say no. Then I'm talking about the economy vis-a-vis corruption. I know. Esianu has come out sometime to say that, when they did the reshuffle in the parliament, that the reason for the reshuffle because the next election it's all going to be about economy. This is where I depart, and I am not in agreement with Esianu Katia at all. It's not about economy. It shouldn't. The next election, the biggest mantra should be on how to fight corruption. Seriously. Because when corruption is stopped, if you can minimize corruption, that alone will stabilize the economy. Believe me. If people put in position, do not siphon monies here and there, do not award huge contracts to themselves, thereby, ignoring or avoiding or eliminating oversight. Because the moment you become involved and you are doing the trading yourself, who creates the oversight? Who looks after or looks in your books to say, look, you have done this wrong, you've done this right, and this isn't correct. If we stop corruption, and I'm not living in an utopian sort of world here or system, I know corruption nowhere can never be stopped. But if you can minimize it, if you can bring some level of discipline into society, into the workings of the average man and woman, if people get to believe that, hey, this time then people will start believing and trusting in all the systems, including even the judiciary. They say judiciary, the work they have to do is to make sure that Kufuor and his family survive. That is the only job the judiciary in Ghana is doing. Nothing else. That is also corruption. The man who was going around risking his life, his limbs, his everything to unearth, to come out, to expose criminals. That man is now being haunted and chased in Ghana. Because the biggest mistake Anas made was to, spy on Ghanaian criminals. And these criminals involved, what we call judges, lawyers. It involved personalities like football administrators. It involved politicians at the highest level. Into your Anas, yes, I know. Hey, not just abomination, big time. Let me go to Accra and see if I can get this gentleman to speak to. What's his name? Okay, this man says I have difficulty on Facebook. So I'm listening from YouTube. YouTube is better. That is strange. Okay, I'll ask my engineer to see what it is about Facebook that is worrying. What about the tuning, the radio side? You see, if I can have the radio, the updates on the radio side. Let me ask Mr. Tafa from Accra to see if he has got things a bit sorted. Tafa, how is it now? Okay, if it's fantastic, then I'm taking you right on top of the air. Let's go on air and talk. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. or Alhaji, because Alhaji is a title, Alhaji Tafa Abubakar is in Accra, and he has given a bit of time. I mean, he has given us a little bit of his time to talk about things happening here. Tafa, good evening.
Good evening, my brother. How are you doing?
Tafa, can you hear me?
Yes. Good evening. How are you doing?
I think.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Let me increase your volume a bit. I think your volume is a bit down. Where are we?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Right. If you can hear me loud and clear, that is beautiful. Okay. I can also hear you loud and clear. Right. So what is happening in Accra as we speak? I know that the Asin North MP has now been disqualified. What is the latest on that matter?
Well, the lawyers are yet to explain to us, but on the various platforms, our party lawyers have heard their opinions, but we are waiting for the official position of the party, what they are coming to say. Because so far, I haven't heard the head of the legal team of the party comment yet, but I've heard some lawyers within the party on our various platforms, and then they have expressed their opinion on the matter. So, and if you listen to them, the issue is something else. Yes, it's something else. Because if if based on what they used to disqualify him, the same thing was used to qualify Zenato Rollins. You see, Zenato Rollins, at the time she was parliamentary candidate, she was not qualified to register as a voter. So when they took the matter to court, the court said since it is internal, and by the time she will file to contest MP, the age should be 18 above. So based on that, Supreme Court cleared her to contest. So if this man also apply and then denounce his citizenship and then file, and by the time he filed, his documents are already in. But they are saying because he has filed later on this thing in, so it's highly complicated, and the lawyers are arguing all over on the platform. So we are waiting for now. Maybe tomorrow, maybe we'll hear the position of the party, and then we can talk about it. Because currently, it's only people that making opinion, not small lawyers anyway. Highly respectful lawyers in the party. I'm on the platform with them, and then they're expressing their opinion, but we are waiting to hear what the party stand will do or what their opinion on that issue. But regardless of whatever it is happening, the man is qualified, according to some of them, their opinion. The man is qualified to contest by election. The man is qualified, according to some of them. So if the man is qualified to contest a by-election, then we are free to go. And I hope, and I have a confidence, not hope, I have a confidence that the good work the man did since he was in abroad, the good work, the help that he helped his people. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Yes. So if we go into by-election, I'm sure the honorable member will emerge as a winner, especially in this current situation we find ourselves now in Ghana. I don't think MPP can anybody in Ghana today will just look at MPP and reward them for what they are doing to Ghanaians. My brother, it's terrible. I'm telling you, it's terrible. So for now, because we are not lawyers, but the lawyers understood. I was just reading what they are wrote. They are put on our platform. So, but me, I always wait for the opinion of the party. I'm sure the party by tomorrow they will come out and then they will come out. The lawyers.
I actually wanted to speak to Kwesi himself, I spoke with him quietly, and in fact, he said just about what the same thing you have said, that they are at a big meeting, and that the statement will come, from the party. There will be a unified sort of a statement. So because of that, he cannot do any press engagement. So that's what he told me. But you see, in all this, the whole thing is such that such experiences, I don't think we've ever experienced such governance of so much intimidation, such cynical governance. We are even not even Soja Buga times. So
my brother.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Brother, my brother, this country, if we are not careful, something that I'm growing up to see the military regimes, and I don't wish this kind of thing, because no matter how bad democracy is better than military regimes. Today, if you look at our neighboring countries where the military are ruling, almost Burkina is almost gone. The jihadists have taken over Burkina. Because the military, nobody is willing to help them. So, democracy is the best form of government. And you can speak, even though Nana Akufo-Addo, for him, you cannot speak about him, some of the things that you go and speak sleep free. But it's still better. Because we still have 1.5 years to kick them out. And inshallah, we'll do that. It's bad, my brother. Can you believe that today, we have Ghanaians, who, my brother, Ghanaians, they are not Togolese, they are not Ivorians, they are not Nigerians. Ghanaians, they don't have representation in parliament. They don't. And nobody is scared. You have Christian Council, Islamic whatever, you have COSO, whatever. Nobody is saying that, no, this is wrong. You have even the judiciary. They took this matter to the judiciary instead of them to speed up the issue and say, no, you people must give these people representatives. They don't. This SAL issue. How can this thing happen in Ghana now? And now some MP die. You are running like this thing, Usain Bolt, to go and conduct a by-election, because you know Kumawu is your stronghold. Meanwhile, SAL people, for almost 3 years now, they don't have MP. They don't have anybody that they can go to help them. Common fund doesn't come to them, to their constituencies. So their children cannot get scholarship from their MPs. And this is happening in Ghana. But if you talk, you see, as MPP people, they are the most hypocrite people I've ever seen. I'm sorry, some of them are very good people. They are my friends. Some of them are very good human beings. And I have a lot of friends among them. Samia Aku is like a younger brother to me. I love Samia Aku a lot. I respect him. He's like a younger brother, like I said. I'm telling you, Sami is somebody I admire a lot. I have other friends within the executive. Kedajapo used to be my friend, but he was doing something, and I speak on radio, then he was angry with me. So since then, I don't even think he remember me again. I give it to him on radio. Since then, we cease to be a friends again. You see, some of the things that is happening in this country, my brother, you don't do that to your own fellow citizens. Can you imagine if tomorrow NDC is in power, and then we also decided to do similar thing, maybe in Ashanti region or Eastern region, one particular constituency, we just deny them MP for 4 years. How will they react? How will the Christian Council, Muslim Council, civil society group, how will they react? Or will they keep quiet? Huh?
So now let's get back to something close to your party. What is it that Muntaka? What does he want? I thought he has won the primary, so now everybody should bow to him or what?
Mansa Musa, everybody knows me. When I was every NDC member, whether minister, president knows, they know my opinion. I've never shied at going after my even president. When President Mace, I used to be very closer to him. Even President Mace, if he's sleeping, I'll call her. If they say they see the number, he respond to my call. But if I see something going wrong, I go on there and say it. No, this thing I won't support it. Mama, what Mama has done for me in my life, I can't speak it on air. But Mama, some time ago, when it was I had Jalima, we were on Jalima. One radio station, and we sat down. We expressed our opinion that no, some of the things that is going on is not the best. So it's not the best. And some people were not happy in the party that why are we doing this? I said, look, me, I'm not a hypocrite. I mean, if something is not good, it's not good. You can't say that MPP people do this thing is not good, and you people are doing it. Then we shouldn't say it. Muntaka. I asked Muntaka on the platform. So I asked him yesterday on the platform. I asked him, what do you want? Tell us what you want. Tell us. Why? Why are you disturbing us? I told him. He lives in my constituency. His house is not far from my nephew, who is a Adenta MP, Honorable Mohammed Ramada. They all live around Ashalbotre there. So I said, why? Why are you disturbing us like that? You won your election, and now you are going after, because one person, Yamin is supporting, Yamin has come there to support Masaudu. And then we all know that Yamin is a controversial person. Everybody knows Yamin. Yamin is very controversial. That one day I won't lie. What he also went and did, I think the national executive must sit down and talk to him like, you can't do that. You can't be a national organizer, and when there's a primary, then you go and sit down with the one executive, one as far as drinking.
But you see, the point here is that, look, whether he did that or not, even if the NDC wanted to remove him, Muntaka, the question is, why? Why would they do that? Because any political party, you don't throw your prized assets away until and unless that asset or the prized asset becomes a liability. And of late, many MPP, NDC people you speak to, Muntaka has become a liability. So even if they wanted to get rid of him, I mean, he should rather hunker down, he should knuckle down and work so that, the trust will come back, the credibility will come back. Instead, he is coming out to talk as though, look, the whole NDC too, me, I don't have a party card, so I can say my mind. Let me tell you something. The NDC itself is indulging so many foolishness. Because, look, if a party, when there is something like insubordination and the rest, the party has to act. But it looks as if everybody's afraid of everybody else. Nobody can talk to so. Muntaka is misbehaving like this, and he's still going.
No, you listen to it. That's where I'm even coming to. As for now, I can assure you that we don't have any aspirants for now. Even those who won, we don't have any aspirants. So the national executive can nullify your election without they have that power. Until the general secretary endorsed your form as a candidate and took it to EC, you are not a candidate. Right now, we just went to internal this year and select the aspirants. So if you are misbehaving towards them, if they are misbehaving and somebody wrote a petition against you, that your conduct is becoming unbecoming, and you appear in front of the disciplinary committee and they find you guilty, they suspend you. If they give you 2 years suspension, you are out. You are out. You see, that's what Muntaka is not thinking. So he thinks that I said cannot do that to him. Mansa, that chairman can do anything to anybody. I know him very well.
You see, for me, I don't want anything done to anybody just because they can do it. The fact is, look, Muntaka is talking too much. That he has won, and maybe he feels that the people of Asawasi, I'm not sure the people of Asawasi will choose Muntaka over NDC. I'm not sure. Oh. So where is he coming from?
My brother, you are not even angry now. On our national platforms, how people are very angry with him. People are going after him. People are going after him to the extent that people are calling for people to order, because some of the platform we have our leaders on that platform. So people are they ask people to tone down because we have some our leaders. If I say leaders here,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So some of the people were asked. That's why I asked him. I asked him, what do you want? I was the first person to start going after him when he said when he started talking about the village chief, this thing, something like that. I mean, why? So I asked him that, Muntaka, what do you want? You have won your election. The only thing that you focus on your 2024 campaign, but you are still saying that people want you. Are you a Muntaka? You Muntaka and Aruna, who have more experience in politics? Aruna was a leader. You are just a minority whip. Aruna was a leader. Why is it that Aruna is not talking? Because Aruna is smarter than you. Do you think that Aruna too is not bitter? Huh? Do you think that somebody who is in the leadership position and you remove him here, the person will not feel bitter? He's a human being. But why is it that Aruna is he's even hosted Mama in his constituency? Brought all the imams, can you imagine, even Major Suleimana was there. And we all know where Major Suleimana belonged to.
Mm.
I know him. When I was coming from Hajj, I sat one seat with him and Alaji Tanko. If you know Baumia ADC, that tall guy, Alaji Tanko. Three of us sit in the seat and we were chatting, and they were chatting about the MPP. And we know Major Suleimana, he's a chief.
Yes.
All of them were there to support Mama. All of the Aruna brought them there. You see, and you think that Aruna, he was not bitter. But look at the Aruna, how maturity, so the maturity that. But you Muntaka, fire, because you are Zongo man or like Zongo man, so you talk the way you are. Me too, I'm a Zongo man anyway. I go in Zongo, so I speak Hausa very well, so I know about Zongo. But you don't behave as if you are a highly educated person, Muntaka. And the position you occupy, you shouldn't be behaving this way. In fact, I feel embarrassed. So yesterday, when I saw this thing, I went after him. And people start tagging me also going after him. Because
I wrote a small article, and the people who responded, about 123 people responded. Only three people said something a bit like in support of Muntaka. All of them were angry, So why he's doing this, I don't understand. Why he thinks he should pick a fight with the executive? Abba, what's wrong with this guy?
And then, you see, he's picking a dangerous fight, because up to now, like I said, Mansa, he's not aspirant yet. You are not aspirant. Even though you have passed through the party this thing, you have won the primary. But until the General Secretary endorse your form and submit it to EC, that's where you become aspirant. So if you are behaving this way, and somebody also mischievously decided that, okay, I'm going to deal with this guy. He's insulting people, he's misbehaving. His anti-party conduct is becoming too much. So I'm going to write petition against him. and the person send the petition, and they listen to the things that you say on radio and this thing, and then they decided that no, they will punish you, and they give you suspension. Massa, if they give you suspension 1 year, you are out. Yes, the moment they give you suspension, they will call for another primary.
Right.
Yes.
Let's talk small about. By now, Ghanaians should be very happy indeed because your IMF money has arrived, innit?
My brother, just last week they borrowed $200 million, isn't it? They borrowed $200 million just last week. When they called parliamentarians, giddy, my MP was campaigning, they called them, they went and borrowed $200 million. What do we see? And now they are talking about, they said 600. We don't know how much is coming. Some are saying 600, some are saying 300. We don't even know how much will come. And in this crisis we are in now, what will 600 million do to solve the problems that we are in now? So I look at the amount, the billions of dollars that they borrow, and now we are not solving the problem. Mansa Musa, we are adding the problem.
That is why I've already said, I don't know whether you heard me or you didn't. I said I'm not happy. I mean, I'm not in support with Sedio Ketia to say that the next election is all about economy. For me, the next election should all be about corruption. Everything. Because when you reduce corruption, even a quarter, the economy will stabilize. Believe me. If you are able to control the level of corruption, the billions that are getting missing, if we are able to control it, the economy will look after itself. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do.
Mansa Musa, some of you, where you live in abroad, companies there, did the government give them tax exemptions?
Well, it's possible. It's possible that some tax exemption, but in this climate, this time, everybody is paying huge taxes. You won't get it like that the way they are doing underhand in Africa, in Ghana. These people will not pay tax here, these people, and the monies are getting missing left, right, and center. It's terrible.
I know that Europe, in America, and other Western countries, they help their companies. They help their farmers with the subsidy and other things.
Yes, farmers
especially.
That
one is acceptable.
Yes.
But you have foreign companies coming into the country, then you give them tax exemption worth of billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And these people they will just be working, taking the money to their country. You have people digging.
Well, it's for political expedience because all what they will say is, Nissan is in Ghana, Toyota is that's why it's the politics of it. But the actual money is not coming to the country. You see?
But me, Mansa Musa, I have hope in Mahama because let's look. No matter what people, I know some people who disagree, people like MP people who don't. But Mahama, when Mahama was in charge of managing of affairs of this country, we saw that Abu Gapele not only NDC, he was a friend of Mahama. But when Mahama saw that no, this thing, Massa, what this thing you do is not something I can defend you. I can't. So go and face the law. Abu Gapele went to jail. Yes, Mama ordered this thing that they should prosecute him, and the man went to jail. And we all see
today we have this is a PPA boss who was actually indicted. Then before they can get his money, he has withdrawn all the monies and he's enjoying the money sitting somewhere.
That's what they are doing. If they put them, then they say president will come and clear them. The president will come and clear them. The president will come and then now you hear that the special prosecutor, somebody this morning, one of their MPP newspapers, say they are going to investigate Mama for giving 40 Ghana cedis for each delegate. Look at this nonsense. Look at this nonsense. Giving delegate 40 cedis, and you are coming to this. Then every politician in Ghana will go to jail, including even the branch constituency executives. Not even those who are receiving salary. Even the party foot soldiers will go to jail. Because I know constituency executives, they also give bribes. I've been a constituency executive for more than 20 years. And I know what I'm talking about. Everybody pay bribes. Because the people, if you call them here, they will tell you, me the minister, me mba. So mubema misika dia, meba. So mubema misika dia, me enya dia meba. And Mansa Musa, you want the person to be there, and the person is telling you that I will come. And true to, if you don't give him, he will come, and you will lose. You will lose. So, do you think anybody in this world will be happy that you take your money, be sharing? But the situation we find ourselves in Ghana has left us with no choice. MPP, their own is coming. And I'm sure you will be watching with your eagle eye. They are all be coming soon. And we'll see. Yesterday, you see the cars that is arriving in the port. They're just clearing them. They be Baumia cars.
Yeah.
2023 model. They are bringing them like this thing. Like a rice, plenty. They are clearing them. They are sharing them all over the regions. A country that is broke. Vice President campaign, you see they order the cars from wherever outside the country, and the cars were branded before they even brought them into the country. Toyota Hilux in this time, and when you talk her, one civil servant talk her, one bold shape. I mean, my brother, when you sit down in the garden.
That's why I'm saying the next election is all about corruption. It's all about nothing but corruption. It's not about economy. Our economies, we don't control them. Economy is controlled from Washington and London and Paris and other places. But if you can control your corrupt edges, then the economy will stabilize. That's what we need. So if NDC come, they are not able to investigate to bring out all this missing cash, then we are in trouble.
My brother, I am telling you, NDC will investigate everybody. I'm telling you, everybody will be investigated. Even NDC members, I heard people who said even the parliamentarians should be investigated. Yes, the passing of some of the ministers, they should be investigated to see whether there's a money has changed hands. I've heard people who said that. And I'm telling you, they will investigate everybody. I'm telling you.
Okay. Listen, Tafa, thank you big time for your input. Hopefully tomorrow and Friday. But stay on the line. I need to tell you something before you go to bed. So stay there for me and let's talk behind the scenes. Right, that is a gentleman from Accra, Tafa Abubakar. When we didn't come, you can find advert in Emra.
For say dear, yenam top connect so e mani sika de bagana if we wiase afa na nyina yenchia ka pre ane aye free top connect amasika mani ayem rekra ne wohia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo Play Store dia ma wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple cra top connect wa man be aduonum so wo Europe, North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a aye ntɛm na emre na mma wahoto so nso sese die sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we hia nchechemu bi a free Top Connect ewo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect ewa abefo ntintafidie nyina so Top Connect fasika mane wa dofo asumdwemu a wontia kapre Top Connect yenso ye die
Abusia, let me go straight to the point. We found wada. Once the attacker and same business, so we work a seer, come air conditioner, and so dumb air conditioning, and set up more cassiasa. No crane say, one funny papa manama installation now mountia. With everything called enterprise, say air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odamo, a Rubia, Okanu, a never cold room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't see, I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. Every year a nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you with the Kadika. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice at your Mawa, or you be a boost straight, not the only your body will fee. So, what do you say? And our gas in a sense, say you'll come with the another dear, and our cold store dear, Nina, a very nice and quick, but we will be a yet the amount. Most of more bridge, I'm sit down, I will make anyone over to me. Afraid you can lie with so. Nearby install air conditioning Nibiamamu. Frank +44 75 08 65 0279. Oh, wager adjacent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, Frank 0544 489 343 and 0302 906 276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise. Air conditioning, a master, no.
Right, so 3 minutes to 10. Honey, this is where I'm gonna end it. I'm looking at the studio monitor. Your friend Musa, Man City 4, Ashe 4-0, which makes it 5-1 against Real Madrid. For somebody to beat Real Madrid completely, comprehensively like this, it's no joke. Hey. Anyway, tomorrow we'll come and continue. Let me remind you, sir, anytime any of you, especially you, the NDC people, even from Accra, if you want to win a t-shirt, beautiful NDC t-shirt, when you call in fact, when Abubakar Tafa Alaji, when he called, I should have asked him a question so that we can, send him a t-shirt. But next time, if you're in Ghana, you call, we will ask you a question which relates to your own party NDC, right? And if you're able to answer the question correctly, you are going to get a beautiful, in fact, I'm telling you, the t-shirt is really big. It's a proper t-shirt, well designed. And according to courtesy of Joe Usajima, he's got 50 of them, 50, to give away. So tomorrow, try to call in to answer questions and you get t-shirts. Aha, Yemfa agrono NCH na nyamia adumo ochina yewa betwa so bedamu nyina say thank all of you. I know you guys are all out there. Most of you don't call or don't bother, but I know you are listening to me. I enjoy your company. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. And don't do anything that I, Mansa Musa, wouldn't do. As for Muntaka, a word to the wise is enough. When Jai is a mununwa, bibibe bonini. Corruption is destroying our country, Ghana, and NDC hopefully should come and clear. We should do what we call the house cleaning. You remember 79? House cleaning. It has to come back again. House cleaning will have to start one day. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Make sure I'm a sewa about FM.